They are the first real test for Republicans. We look back on last night's debate and ahead to tomorrow's straw poll in our continuing Your Vote 2012 coverage. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mike Mickle. Welcome to INN News. President Obama has failed America. Give us a chance. That was the message from Ames, Iowa, as 8 Republican presidential hopefuls squared off for the first debate in the key early state. Rick Vincent has our report.
Hoping to get their voices heard above the others, 8 Republican hopefuls took the stage at Iowa State University for a debate sponsored by Fox News, the Washington Examiner, and the Iowa Republican Party. One big message: President Obama's leadership on the economy has been bad for the nation. Here's former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney, recognized as being towards the top of the pack, speaking on the debt ceiling compromise.
Look, I'm not going to eat Barack Obama's dog food, all right? What he served up was not what I would have done.
Things also got testy, including a little Minnesota family feud as that state's former governor, Tim Pawlenty, and Representative Michelle Bachmann attacked each other's records.
You said the era of small government was over. That sounds a lot more like Barack Obama, if you ask me.
She said she's got a titanium spine. It's not her spine we're worried about. It's her record of results. If that's your view of effective leadership with results, please stop, because you're killing us.
Bachmann was also asked about comments she made in 2006 in which she seemed to indicate that a woman should follow her husband, saying the Bible calls for it.
As president, would you be submissive to your husband?
What submission means to us, if that's what your question is, it means respect. I respect my husband.
Tomorrow was the Ames straw poll, a key gauge on how Iowans are feeling about the GOP hopefuls. It has in the past changed the course of the Republican campaign, and the race for the White House could soon take an interesting twist. After weeks of speculation, Texas Governor Rick Perry seems to be ready to throw his hat into the ring to be the next president of the United States. Perry is expected to announce his campaign plans at an event on Saturday in South Carolina. From there, he will be treading some familiar ground for presidential hopefuls.
I think when you look at the record, the last 10 years of my leadership in Texas, you see what's occurred in this state. And again, I'm going to go back to this time after time. The issue that Americans really care about right now is jobs. It's about how do we get America working again. And I'm going to lay out a positive, a bright future tied to the vision that I have for going to Washington, D.C., making a difference.
So what would a Rick Perry candidacy mean for the Republican race? Well, the latest CNN poll shows him in second place behind frontrunner Mitt Romney with 15% support. Rudy Giuliani, Sarah Palin, Ron Paul are close behind at 12%. Iowa native Michelle Bachmann comes in at 7%. And it just so happens Bachmann is the most Googled candidate in Iowa. With all eyes on Ames tomorrow, searches for Bachmann in Iowa have surged. While there's no way to calculate whether Google searches will translate to votes, the data does offer clues about which presidential candidates are grabbing the attention of voters this political season. Mitt Romney sure made his presence known in Iowa, more so with the debate that happened before the debate. Check this out.
Sir, I am on Social Security.
So, I'm glad you're on Social Security. Hold on just a moment. Hold on just a moment.
And my wife is on Social Security. And listen to me. You came here to listen to the people. Well, listen. We're going to talk for 15 minutes. We're going to talk to you.
It happened at a rally yesterday before the debates. The exchange went on for quite a while after that. Well, we just told you about the most popular candidates. Now we move on to the most hated person in America. You're looking at her, Casey Anthony. A new poll shows 94% of Americans completely dislike her. Others in the top 5 were O.J. Simpson, Octomom, Nadia Suleiman, and former The Hill star, Spencer Pratt. Now to the latest on the Doherty gang. The 3 siblings wanted in Florida and Georgia appeared in court in Colorado and were each handed down a bond of $1.3 million. Police arrested 29-year-old Lee Grace Doherty, 26-year-old Dylan Doherty Stanley, and 21-year-old Ryan Doherty in southern Colorado after a chase. It ended with their stolen car crashing.
With a lot of cooperation from the citizenry here, we received a tip from the citizens that they were camped up in southern Colorado, up in the mountains, and so I sent my deputies up there to see if we could locate them. At that time, they jumped them there on I-25. one of my deputies being very aware, contacted them there. The chase started. And then subsequently after that, the State Patrol took over the chase and did a fantastic job of bringing it to a good end.
The sheriff gives the credit to the state troopers who caught the trio. Officials say they are still trying to sort out where the three will be tried. For now, they will remain in Colorado. Time for Global News Now. There's still no sign of a 35-year-old American woman missing in Aruba. Robin Gardner's rental car was impounded by police. She was last seen August 2nd near Baby Beach. Gary Giordano told police Gardner disappeared while the two were snorkeling. He's now being detained but said not to be cooperating. Aruban authorities have asked the FBI to help with the investigation. Iran is among several countries sending relief supplies to Somalia. A second plane full of cargo has landed in Mogadishu. The items include medications, food, tents, and blankets. Unprecedented drought and famine have affected almost 12 million people across Ethiopia, Kenya, and Somalia. Millions of Somalis are either internally displaced or living outside the country as refugees. An isolated Indian tribe in Brazil seems to have vanished. There are concerns the tribe may have been run off by drug traffickers. The group was filmed this year for the first time. This is a photo of the area they lived in. An aid group reported this week suspected traffickers had destroyed a Brazilian guard post. It was built near the tribe's location to protect them from outsiders. It's often said every cloud has a silver lining. It's true for a group of workers at a manufacturing plant in Canada. They were told they were losing their jobs, but then...
Wouldn't it be nice to win the lottery before we leave Smyrna? And bing, next day we win it.
17 workers each became about $400,000 richer. And that's your Global News Now. A 3-month-old calf is back with his mother tonight after falling into a well. Farmer Wayne Mitchell from Stokes County, North Carolina, said he had recently moved his herd from one pasture to another when he noticed the calf was missing. He found the animal had fallen into an unused 15-foot well. It took rescue crews from the local fire department several hours to free that calf. The farmer says he plans to fill the well with concrete so this does not happen again. And one young girl from Tennessee is just glad to be back on the ground. The 11-year-old climbed a pine tree and got stuck about 50 feet high. Here you see Knoxville rescuers leading her back down. It took crews a little while to get the proper equipment for the rescue. Thankfully, though, she wasn't hurt. Well, there's much more to come on INN. Tens of thousands of postal workers may soon be delivered some very bad news. Plus, how you can own a little piece of Bernie Madoff and dress up your iPad at the same time. Plus, Bert and Ernie roommates or something more. The online push to get these two to the altar coming up on INN. And we want to remind you INN News is on Facebook. You can now find us on Twitter as well at INN News Network. And we're on YouTube. We're reaching out to you so you can reach out to us. INN News will be right back.